Okay, so this is like implosion. I think we saw this once in
Yeah,
Town Takeover. The implosion handlock.
this is the Darkwonyx original. This is
Yeah.
what he played in the ESL tournament, where it's just kind of like a collection of removal spells and tricky ways to kill your opponent. And moving forward from there, what I think one of the more favorable matchups it has is Hunter. Sort of the matchups it's not too good against. He said, or at least when in my talks with Darkwonyx are both Handlock and Warrior. So really got to be careful with him. But in this matchup, he is primed for it because there is Zoo and there's Hunter in this matchup. So only one of those potential classes he would ever even have to play against. But if I recall correctly, there's a Paladin in this lineup, not a Warrior.
Yeah, I believe so. And we'll get the bans for you guys in a second, and we'll let you know when we do. But yeah, pretty nice start here all around, and be interesting to see if he decides actually. Okay, so he's just gonna dark bomb this up, and I mean the potential to see implosions is gonna start next turn. I'm interested to see if he does decide to go for that. I think Animal Companion is gonna be the answer here. And Leok again, man. Been a lot of Leoks in this tournament.
He hasn't been sort of like he's been pretty good though.
Yeah,
Just the
okay,
extra power
yeah.
you're getting and 2/4 bodies, nothing to scoff at. And
Does he get greedy? Does he go for the Leok?
he's got to go for the Leok, man. Oh, come on! All right, so
Coward. So let's see what the trap is. Possible that it could be something different. We have seen a couple different ones. I think he's just gonna give her a juggle. And I mean, do you value the extra power from getting the Haunted Creep out earlier, or do you think you just want to get down that the Undertaker to be able to buff it up the next turn? I mean, what do you think the priority here is?
I think just given the way these board positions are panning out, he's going to tend to go for Haunted Creeper here.
Yeah,
if you're getting a Knife Juggler developed, Haunted Creeper is one of the best minions you can actually pair with that. So Freezing Trap's what it is, and since he's got Freezing Trap, he definitely wants to juggle a minion.
Oh no!
But he misses the 66.66 repeating, of course, percent chance of juggle.
Yeah, that sucks because now it's going to be taken by and Freezing Trap is so big against handlocks, man, because that can be a giant that he's freezing. Instead, he's going to freeze a 1/1 implosion imp.
Yeah, this isn't like a traditional like handlock build though. This is like again, this is the Darkwonyx like special here, where he's not playing stuff like giants. He's playing all these weird
really?
cards.
None at all.
I think there might
Not even
be
Moltens?
there might be Molten Giants in here, but there's a lot of like weird, crazy stuff that's going on with this deck, and it's really hard to say what he's going to do because again, like, he's sort of the creator of this deck, and I gave it a whirl or two. And it's not particularly my style, but I mean, there's stuff like Mistress of Pain in here, and there's Antique Healbots, and there's Arcane Golem from what I remember, and there's so much weird stuff happening. I think he's thinking about a Hellfire turn here, but it's got to be a little bit uncomfortable. I think Hellfiring in this position. He's going to give his opponent 2/1/1s in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you give him the 1/1s. You are like lowering your HP a bit, and it's tough, man. It may just be another implosion, but it's like you don't really have great answers here. I kind of feel like Hellfire is the best play, especially with you just don't want to leave the Knife Juggler there. Knife Juggler plus like Leok is out. It's gonna buff the spiders and stuff. It's got to be Hellfire, and it will in fact be the Hellfire in the end.
Looks like he's just going to redevelop here. Noyatron in this deck. I mean, this has sort of been a weird Hunter build too. We've seen Deadly Shot in here. We've seen 2 copies of Savannah Jaime and Dr. Boom. A Noyatron and Deadly Shot. It's like, and there's Bomb Lobber in here as well. Like it seems to me like he's just very centered on protecting his early minions and then using that to scale into his mid-late game. I hope that the pressure's enough after that.
And there's, speaking of the double, there's the Arcane Golem, man. It's really interesting. I mean, he does have a massive card advantage, but his life is getting low. Savannah Jaime is in hand to be able to follow up next turn, and it's kind of getting a little scary. I mean, are you thinking about just anti-keelbotting here?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think coming back from the junk heap is pretty much one of his best plays. Like Hellfire here just looks awful.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Certainly do agree. So I think it's going to be anti-keelbot. I'm guessing that's the conclusion. But there is always the great play of Arcane Goleming into the Noyatron.
Yeah, that's just perfect. Here's your Wild Growth, idiot. Have it. Joke's on you. I have a 4/2 haste charge.
Will be a 4/1 after.
Yeah. Oh, no! And it's open to
Oh
stuff
man,
like
Hellfire.
yeah. Oh, wow, he's
going
gonna
for
go for Hellfire here.
That is a brutal Hellfire, man.
Yeah. I think I would have gone with the anti-kill bot here. Maybe he does have Molten Giant though, and he's kind of relying on drawing one. He's gonna get some bad news as Savannah High Main hits this board though. So now he's got Siphon Soul for this, but yeah, here's the thing. He's got Siphon Soul for this, but now he has no way to like follow up afterwards. So what he's thinking about is he's gonna go to 14.
That's actually a game if you sell 7. Is it or no?
Because
it gains HP.
Yeah,
so he's
gonna
14.
Be 2 afterwards. But he can recover for 2. You look at going into turn 7, he's got options for some stuff, but none of them are too exciting.
No,
really, it's just he fell so far behind early, and he's he didn't draw Mistress of Pain, he didn't draw this Earthen Ring Farseer. He got 2 copies of Hellfire, but Freezing Trap disrupted one of these imps from attacking, which is actually a pretty important attack.
We still have to see what the draw is too. Okay, that's not going to do anything for him. I think you just go for it, but I don't know. It's I mean,
I'm fine with
hard to tell.
I don't think there's any reason to kill in this position. I think you're just totally fine.
Yeah, it's very true, especially because you do have Unleash, so you do have an activator for it sitting there anyway. So down to 7 HP. Wow. You have to do some work. There's Mistress of Pain.
Yeah, there actually might be some recovery potential here. You can play Anti-Heal Bot. It's going to heal him up to 13.
Yep.
He's got the Mistress of Pain. Nope, it's actually going to close it because of Unleash the Hounds.
Yeah.
Wow, just barely not enough. And just like that, this game is going to go over to Backspace on turn 8.
Wait, does he have enough? That's 5, that's 10, 12, 14. He's 1 off lethal.
Oh my gosh, he's 1 off. Why was I thinking he was healed to 14 here?
No, he's 1 off lethal.
Math is why.
Yeah, he can only do 14.
Oh my gosh.
Still, I feel like you just go for it now. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Otherwise, if you don't, then I guess your turn is just a web spinner. Web spinner hero power, I guess, is fine. I guess it's totally fine. But the other thing is,
Hounds. I mean, you've seen 2 Hellfires at this point.
Yeah,
here's what I'm wondering. When you see Mistress of Pain, like, has he done his homework? Does he know that stuff like Demon Heart is in this deck? Like, because if anyone who's seen this deck knows that Demon Heart's in here, and it knows like one of the prime combos you're looking for is Mistress of Pain into Demon Heart, which is like almost impossible to actually recover from.
So do you think, given that, if he has done his research, there's any chance of him trying to kill it?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I think that he's going to get some really bad news here. This is the turnaround that Darkwonyx was looking for. This is literally exactly it. Off by lethal a couple of turns in a row, and now Demon Heart is really going to push this game even further out of control. Darkwonyx is up to 17. Backspace is nowhere near lethal right now. And my gosh,
God, man.
How on earth do you deal with this Mistress of Pain now? I mean, he needed an iron to get all this turn. But then how do you recover? Because when you attack it, he's going to gain more life. Yeah. Kill Command's going to come out on it, but again, 6 more HP over to Darkwonyx. He's up to 23.
Oh my God, man, that's so brutal. And yeah, I mean, knowing that, he should have killed it off with his hyenas.
I don't think he knew that. I don't think he knew that combo was in this deck.
Yeah, must not have. I mean, there you go. You want an advantage for coming up with a unique new deck. There it is.
I mean, this is like part of the power that these surprise effects can yield. Is that when you get the big advantage, it's like, I mean, how on earth does he recover from this spot? He has no kill commands left. He has very little pressure on the board going forward. I think Darkwonyx can just race him. Wow, and he picks up
power.
He's got the power overwhelming now at 16 points of damage next turn with Faceless Manipulator.
Oh my God, and he gets a 4 insult to injury. This has gotta be it, man. This is just so brutal. Yeah, he can do the Faceless power overwhelming. Oh my God, wow.
I gotta believe he just goes for face here.
Yeah, certainly. I certainly think you do.
What can you die to?
Nothing. Literally nothing, I don't think. There's already a kill command being used. Double kill command plus some sort of charge or like could perhaps kill you, but that's we already know a kill command's gone. So there's nothing.
3 mana imp. This is a huge value turn.
It's that imp, man. It's the Revenge of the Imp. It's the one that got freezing trapped right at the start of the game. He wants back in, man. They're bringing him in.
After years of surviving the Ice Age. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you got to go for Crush, right?
Yeah, certainly. But even then, I think you still lose. So
he's going to, yeah. But
yeah,
go style, man.
Yeah. Let's see what he gets. Not
Oh,
what
there
he's
you
looking for. That's not
Speaking
getting crushed.
Speaking of insult to injury,
Yeah.
wow. I thought that Backspace had lethal that one turn. He was one off. That was, the difference between winning and losing this game was a single point of damage.
Yeah, I know. So close. And I mean, like, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known about the Demon Heart deck. I think a lot. Most people wouldn't have. You know, it's like something brand new, man. And fact of the matter is, if you get caught off guard by something like that, you know, he's probably not going to make that mistake ever again. Now he does see the combo coming in. That is going to be that. But you have to think, if he actually just killed that off, I think he still wins that game.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
For sure.
I mean, 12 points of life were gained from that Mistress of Pain.
Plus, he had to trade in minions to it anyway and give up his skill command. And in,
So
in the others, yeah, it was actually hand in hand to start things off. So I wonder how this matches up against Zoo. He even has the mech card, man. He even has the Warlock mech card in there.
Felcannon, I believe, is actually a little bit bugged right now. It can hit this if you have 2 Felcannons out. It can hit the same minion twice before it dies.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound bugged.
Yeah, they've said it's bugged.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll get that fixed up pretty soon. But you know, talking about dropping Mistress of Pain and something to compete for the board, and I mean, even if it gets cleared out, even if something bad happens here, it's going to set him up for perhaps that Felcannon turn next time.
Yeah, even when you're looking at this though, you're like, do I kill this Mistress of Pain? Like how he can't actually even kill it this turn.
No.
Nope, just ignore it. Have fun.
Yeah.
It's not going to gain life here either because Divine Shield he deals 0 damage.
Yeah. Do you think that he should get out the Felcannon, having 2 in hand and stuff, or do you think he just Earthring here?
So.
Yeah, I like it more because it's one less target. Well, okay, well.
I don't mind Earthen Ring, but I certainly like the idea of getting the Felcannons rolling.
Yeah, especially because it's like it can hit your own stuff, can it not?
Yeah, it can definitely hit your own stuff. So
yeah, so it's like you wouldn't want to give it an extra target like that.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I don't expect this Earthen Ring Farseer to stick around for too long.
True. Yeah.
And I don't think he does either. And I think he's looking at Felcannon as more of like a follow up than it is like a lead. Because you don't want the Felcannons to just die straight away either. You know, you want to try to get some value out of those first. So you know, don't mind playing patiently here and just really kind of moving forward. Because something else he's looking for is turn 6. You know, maybe he wants to just coin this Barongeddon and look to really seize control of the board that way too.
Yeah, certainly.
Ooh, that's a nice juggle.
Yeah, really nice. I mean, he can trade the Spider and just start going crazy with juggles now, but we'll see if he's going to decide to do that.
He really has no way to play around Hellfire either, so he's just kind of got to go for it and hope for the best. Wow, he's actually not going to take out the Earthen Ring Farseer either, so he's not concerned about Shadow Flame. Maybe he knows that Felcannon is in this deck, and just like last game he disregarded Demon Heart. He was like, oh, he's got Demon Heart, God bless. You know, it's a possibility. Oh my gosh, this
Certainly
Felcannon
doesn't want to shoot his own thing. Oh god, I'm so scared.
Oh gosh.
Definitely not a bad shot there. I mean, it would have been better probably to kill something else, but still, certainly pretty good.
I think taking out any minion at this point he's happy with.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Anytime it doesn't hit his 3/1 or the Haunted Creeper, I think he's thrilled.
Yeah, for sure. So
it just always hits my 3/1.
Well, man, if you can get one juggle on the Felcannon after this, you can trade the Underkeeper and do it. So, or Undertaker rather. I always call it Undertaker.
Just gonna ignore it, man.
Oh wow, okay. Do you like that choice? Because I mean, it's like this could get some serious value if it starts really getting some work done here. I mean, it starts taking out minion after minion. Sometimes you then don't have the option to kill it anymore later on. You know.
Well, he does. He even has the option. He's just going to forego it. So he's just going to favor damage on the face. So what he's looking at is that he knows he's not going to win the long game. He knows he's not going to get a bunch of favorable trades. So he's just going to go for what the game gives him and hope for the best.
Certainly. Well, you have to feel it's just a Sludge Belcher coming down.
I don't know, man. I don't mind Felcannons here.
Yeah, you think so? You think just another Felcannon?
They can't hit each other.
It's true. But at the same time, you are putting yourself, in a pretty scary predicament, and we know next turn is an additional 7 damage in addition to what's on the board.
Yep.
that would be lethal.
Is that what he's
kill
thinking about though? Is he anticipating that?
No, probably not that. But I mean, you're thinking about Doomguard. You're certainly thinking about Doomguard. I think, at least. But at the same time, I guess Sledge Welter doesn't really trade very well anyway, because it's just gonna die Lothab.
I think you got to go with Felcannon here.
It's a hard turn.
Talk about hoping for the best. I mean, this is the amount of pressure that putting your opponent on this back foot can give. Giving your opponent a bunch of options isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's an opportunity for them to make mistakes. Wow, this Felcannon hit his own Sludge Belcher. Oh my gosh, it's so scary.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still not bad, because now it's not a free trade. Does he decide to keep it alive? It'll be interesting.
Oh, I think for sure. I think you got to go with the Doomguard into the Sludge Belcher. I don't think that you're looking at trading away your Lothab right now. Hellfire is certainly something he's thinking about, but really no way to actually play around it. So I think he's just going to go all in. And wow, the juggle snipes off that 3-1.
No.
I don't know. Maybe he does trade it away. Wow, look at this. He actually got a juggle onto the Sludge Belcher, so he can keep his Doomguard as healthy as he wants.
This is brutal. I mean, on the back of that, this could just be done. I mean, you can steal the Doomguard, but then you still are dead. Is there any way you live? Okay, so so you copy the Doomguard. You kill the Lothab, and you think so? You could live the other way though. I mean, you can
especially when he picks up Arcane Golem.
Mortal Coil plus that.
I think he's got to go Hellfire and Arcane Golem into the Doomguard. I think when he picks that up, but let's say pretend he didn't draw the Arcane Golem though.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't draw the Arcane Golem here, gosh.
Do you think it's strictly better though? I mean, you're dealing the extra damage to yourself anyway, and then you're having nothing on board afterwards.
I think it is strictly better. He's gonna hope that Felcannon can stabilize after this. I think.
Yeah.
Preserve his life shuttle too. Like he doesn't want to go lower than he doesn't want to go to 5, obviously.
Well, it's certainly not what he wanted. Let's see what he gets. Nerubian Egg, okay.
Too bad. We obviously would have loved to have that for the Hellfire, but
yeah, certainly.
You can't always get what you want. Mick Jagger told me that once.
I was wondering if you were to go there. This is rough. I mean, you could Mortal Coil, but no, never mind. You can't. Oh god.
Oh, gosh, this is so rough. 3 health minions are just not what you want to see when you're playing with Felcannons.
Do you think you actually just
He's gonna faceless the egg?
Faceless it? Yeah, I think you have to. Yeah. How funny. Yeah.
What other option do you have?
Nothing really. No.
5 mana Nerubian Egg. Okay, if Nerubian Egg was a 5 mana 1/3 taunt, would you play with it?
No. Oh wow. All right. Well.
Soulfire is a pretty fantastic draw right now, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, no kidding. It's gonna put him to 1 HP.
Well, he's gonna kill it.
Or just kill it. Yeah.
He's actually. Wow, he's not gonna kill it. He's just gonna roll the dice, be like, you know what? I got 4 points of damage in my hand. Do something.
Wow.
Darkwonyx looks like he's actually even gonna be able to stabilize through this.
Yeah.
Or at least keep himself for this turn anyway.
Hellfire, Coil, heal himself. Yeah. He can put himself back up to 5 HP, so it'll be, maybe still 1 damage ends the game.
Wow, this is looking pretty good for Darkwonyx actually. He's got to stick him in. Backspace has got to stick him into the board here.
I mean, it still has a second Felguard. It still has a lot of options here to end the game, perhaps.
Second Soulfire doesn't end it straight away, though. He needs to draw it after he's pitched his first one.
Yeah.
Dark Iron Dwarf will do a very good job at sticking to the board.
Certainly.
Wait a minute. Okay, so he can Dark Bomb the 2/2, run his 3/3 into the 4/4, and then play Felguard, and then play Felcannon afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some good lines of play. I'll be interesting to see if he actually just Soulfires the 3/3. If he's saying I got to keep this alive.
I mean, you got to Soulfire. Oh my gosh, he's gonna hang on to the Soulfire for 1 more turn.
And that's actually gonna cost him, because that's gonna allow him. Oh, especially
when
with
he
the
picks up
Mortal
Coil
too.
too.
Oh my god. I mean, you could just keep both alive now. You can just Mortal Coil plus Dark Bomb on the 5/4, and then kill the wolf off with your 3/3.
Yeah, but then you don't get to develop the cannon.
That's true. That's true. Tough choice.
He's got to go for the cannon, right? The thing he doesn't need to do right now is life tap. But, he may be thinking, oh my gosh, is he going to Baron-geddon? No, he can't Baron-geddon.
No.
Alex Strazza gets drawn. Backspace is going to need Doomguard, or this game is going to get very far out of reach right now.
He's got to be getting pretty close to it though, man. He's gonna have 2 chances.
Wait a minute, did he so he can't develop the cannon this turn?
No.
Oh my gosh, you just can't life tap, and he knows that he shouldn't life tap. Second
no!
Backspace has got a 50% chance to win this game right now, and that's what he's going to have to go for. And he gets the 50% chance, and Soulfires are going to end it. Backspace is going to tie this game at 1-1. Wow, what a draw, and what a way to end Mistress of Pain. He's playing Mistress of Pain for a reason.
Not just doing it for funsies.
Yeah, not just for funsies. I can promise you that. We actually just saw Blingtron mulligan out of Darkwonyx's hand, and this is a list he gave me about a week ago, where you freeze them out with Snowchugger, and then you play Blingtron, and then you have a weapon and they don't.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's a pretty solid opener here too, with the Mana Worm behind a mirror image. That Mana Worm is not going anywhere. Wow, what a start! This has been like a nightmare start since like the game's inception. But the problem is you have to play mirror image. But when you have like Blingtron and you have like Snowchuggers and Harvest Golems and you're following up on this mirror image, this is like really good, really good stuff.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he has such a great couple of turns coming out here. I mean, Snowchugger he can drop Tinker into a Pilot Shredder. I mean, his next couple turns are like so well mapped out, and that's really what you need to do well against Zoo. You need to have strong turn after strong turn after strong turn and continually fight for the boredom. And if you can do that for a couple turns in a row, your first 4 or 5 turns, usually Zoo just starts to kind of go kaput.
Needs this juggle.
If that's gonna be the case. Definitely needs this juggle. It's a 1 in 3.
33.33. Repeating, of course.
Nope, not gonna get it.
Quite. Yep. Mana Worm got some fantastic value. So, mirror image really doing its job, protecting this Mana Worm, making sure it can lock up a lot of potential here. I gotta believe this. I like the Harvest Golem too, because it's going to provide a resilient threat, and you've seen Soulfire at this point. So playing Harvest Golem, and then next turn you can just go ahead and play the gnome, the Clockwork Gnome, and then Tinkertown next turn. But there's something to be said about just getting the 4/4 on the board now and making sure you draw your spare part, and maybe that affects some of the plays you make.
Especially, I mean, because it's like going forward into the next turn, it can be really big. I mean, sometimes you can get some really important ones, like the Taunt is very, very strong. I mean, next turn, that could set you up for a taunting of the Harvest Golem. If you don't get something that's really valuable, then you obviously can just, drop Pilot Shredder. I mean, but both these minions are very strong, fight for the board well.
Yep. Good trading here, too. And just once again, needs this juggle so bad.
It's so important he gets it. Wow.
Wow. And it's a massive one right now. It doesn't look
really
like
is.
It doesn't seem like it's a lot. You're killing a 2/1, but killing a 2/1 versus not killing a 2/1 is a pretty big deal at the end of the day.
Especially with the minions on the board. I mean, that means that now the Knife Juggler or the Wolf get to live. And it's like that those would have been killed off for free with that. So I mean it's just it's huge, man. That the juggles really do decide games.
It's Armored Plating here. I don't think he's going to use Armored Plating here over the Clockwork Gnome. I don't see a huge reason to do so. So
I mean, I think the only reason would be if you don't want your golem to die to 1 juggle.
Yep. Wow, picks up Void Caller. That's a really important one right now. Again, wants this juggle. Gets a good one. Wants a second one too. Is he going to pick up the second juggle?
Games are just decided off these juggles, man. It's so important. And let's see where it lands. Doesn't get it. That is definitely important there for Darkwonyx. He cannot afford to just continually lose out to this. But, I mean, it's still such a good position for him. It's like you can just trade in. And, wow, I'm actually kind of surprised he traded that. I thought he would have actually kept his alive. Wow. I thought for sure he was just going to take out the Harvest Golem there.
Yeah, I think
keep it alive an extra turn, force out a hero power,
Yeah, you can force out a hero power, but you're running out of gas at the same time too, so you want to keep your mana open as well. And at the same time, you want to. This is a spot I think where restricting your opponent's options in terms of attacks is a good thing. Keep their options open in their hand. Try to restrict their options on the board, because those are the ones that you typically can't control. So what he's thinking about is 4 damage going to be worth more in the long game, or is the 2 mana on my opponent's going to be worth more at this point? You have 2 1/3s on the board to contest his Harvest Golem, so I would tend to be typically favoring killing off that 4/3 there, but I would have liked to see this Nubian egg.
How do you feel about the spare parts here, though? I mean, like versus a Pallid Shredder, because if you give armor plating and the attack, you can take out the Voidwalker for free and then taunt to defend it with a Neutron. Do you like that more than developing?
For sure.
Yeah, I think it's a good play. And double spare parts really can be pretty nice.
If the difference was spare parts and no minion or a minion, I probably would go for the minion. But you're still getting something on the board when you're using the spare parts here, and you need to. And since you have Jeeves in your hand, you want to at some point find a way to get value from Jeeves.
Yeah.
And right now it's not going to happen because you have too much in your hand. The question is, should he ping or should he use the blade?
Well, I think if you want Jeeves value, you got to use the blade. I mean, that's basically what the deck is designed around, so I think you need to be looking at that.
Alpha not too good at the moment. Spider, though, this is going to help him continue to fight for the board.
Yeah, certainly. Not too bad. I think he's just going to, just drop everything.
Yep.
I mean, the thing is with Jeeves is it's like, you're going to get a lot of cards, but you're giving your opponent a lot of cards too, so...
Yep.
I mean, it can sometimes backfire, and I guess I understand the idea is that the Warlock obviously can draw the cards anyway, so it's kind of more an advantage for you, I guess.
Something else to think about too is just when you're getting Jeeves online, you need to have a board position. If you are losing at the board position and you don't have a lot of reach left in your deck to help deal with what your opponent's throwing at you, obviously it's a lot weaker in a position like that.
Certainly. And it's just tough. He's still going to have to get through that Nerubian egg, and it's like, doesn't want to have to really deal with it.
It's such a nightmare right now. I'd be a little bit surprised if he popped the egg this turn.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if he pops it, I think he frostbolts it, but...
Yeah, I think you want to frostbolt the alpha, though.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see.
Oh, you know what? He can frostbolt if he wanted to. He could... No, it'd be horrible. Never mind.
Because you can follow it up and kill with the ping, right? Like, that's a...
Wow, Soulfire gets picked up right away, and as long as you don't see something like a Doomsayer,
not bad. But that's the value of Soulfire right there, man. Those are the ones that really win games. Is when you got them off the top like that. It's just huge. I guess he doesn't have to pay any price for it. That's like what it's kind of balanced around is paying that price, and brutal board position for him to deal with here.
Just gonna have to be Jeeves this turn. Picks up a 1-cost spell afterwards too, so that's sort of a blessing in itself. But Backspace, he's got to think about how this Jeeves is going to interact with the rest of the way this game is panning out. Because if you continue to give your opponent 3 cards, you're looking at the potential for their recovery too. So do you take the 3 cards yourself, or do you deny that from your opponent any further? Like you've gotten your 3 cards, that's enough. Like, are you really worried about drawing more yourself? So. I'd like to see him life tap here first, unless he intends to taunt up these 2 tokens. And I imagine Defender of Argus is going to get played here no matter what. But it'd be nice to see what else he's got available for hand wise.
No, it looks like he's thinking about just leaving it alive.
He might just not life tap here too. That's a possibility.
Yeah. Certainly is. I don't know. I kind of feel like killing it off is a better choice. To be honest,
that's the thing is killing off Jeeves usually is a better choice.
Yeah, I feel like he's the one with the board control and stuff, and you really don't want the mage drawing into stuff like his blast mages and things like that. It's just tough, but he's gonna leave it alive, and we'll see, man. Perhaps he could tap into a Soulfire and kill it. We'll see, but
I just don't think he's gonna life tap.
Okay, wow. It may pay off for him. Now an easy Frostbolt on that Nerubian, though, and we'll see what else is going to be picked up. And, he can dump his hand. He can dump his full hand and actually get a good draw and have a pretty reloaded board. And I think he's going to be kicking himself for not killing that. I definitely think it was a mistake.
It's tough to say one way or the other. He's going to be able to draw some more cards off this, too, though.
Yeah.
So, as your opponent continues to fight for the boards, that's one of the things that Zoo is best at is fighting for board positions.
It's true, but I just feel like that's kind of one of the biggest advantages of Warlock is being able to have access to all these card draws, getting through your deck, and you don't have necessarily the best minions, but you have lots of them, and you always have access to them because, you're tapping through your deck pretty quick. But When you're giving your opponent, access to just as many cards as you have, I feel like it's a lot harder to win there.
Yeah, look at
And I mean,
Darkwonyx
it's almost like you're forced to leave it alive another turn now. Like,
yeah, here's the other thing too, is that Darkwonyx is looking at this Jeeves and how much he's helping his opponent, and he's having to think about, do I want to leave my own Jeeves alive at this point? Because Backspace is drawing into a lot of gas at this point. Look, he's going to be able to empty his hand again, and he's just going to continue to leave Jeeves here. I mean, this is the way he's chosen to fight for it. Is like, all right, have your cards. I'm going to take them too.
Well, let's see. It'll be interesting to see if he does kill it off or not. I mean, certainly, has drawn some strong cards from it so far. Darkwonyx hasn't.
I don't think you can afford to kill Jeeves at this point. I think it's just each player is going to be drawing 3 cards a turn.
It's kind of funny how that works out, man. It's kind of the standoff, but now he's thinking about it. Yeah, so I mean, when you kill it off, to me, it's just strictly a mistake to have not killed it off the first turn. Then like. If you're gonna kill it off now, it's like he kind of like called your bluff. He left it up, and you did have to kill it. He drew 5 cards from it. You only drew the 3. So
yeah, I think what's really swaying his decision here, though, is just how his mana has
good
worked
his
out.
hand is. Yeah,
and his board position. So at this point, does he need any more cards? Darkwonyx, I think Darkwonyx does probably need a little bit more in a board position like this, and maybe he's gonna get it. He draws the second Jeeves. But I would be surprised if that found its way to the board this turn.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because he wants to be able to use his hero power here as well. So it's going to be able to clear up one of the spiders. Get a nice trade. And I mean, this is like his 3rd Neutron this game because he actually has played 2 and he got one from his piloted shredder.
Lotheb would be really good if it was Sea Giant right now. I can tell you that.
There are fireballs in this deck, aren't there?
I believe there's
him draw 1.
There's at least one. I know that there's at least one, but the question is, is he playing 2? I would imagine you play 2, but part of the deck's power is that you deal a little bit of early pressure, and then you have the range of Frostbolt, Fireball, going into like turn 6.
Trading in that Leper Gnome, I kind of feel like. Okay, so he's not going to kill the pilot shredder at all, so that makes a lot of sense then.
Yep, he's just going for pressure on the face now. He's leaving it to Darkwonyx to figure out a way to close this game. Blingtron is, I don't know, it feels really scary right now. I think he's going to have to go for it, but
YOLO. Go for it, man. Drop the Jeeves too.
Hope they get the Lights Justice. Hope you get the Doomhammer, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see what he gets.
Arcanite Reaper versus Sword of Justice.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's game.
Thank you.
He just lost.
Blingtron really doing work here.
Well, I mean, he has to see
the wrong
what
player
trades in. Yeah. Maybe he can get a taunt or do something.
Yeah, maybe he'll get another Noyatron.
Nope.
River Acropolis is a dangerous place to be too, but
yeah.
Oh, well, you get a taunt cog off the
yeah. Okay.
Let's see what he picks up here. Finicky Cloak. Oh, he couldn't. He was under Lotheb.
Yeah.
He couldn't. Yeah. He could have gotten a taunt, but he wouldn't have done anything. Finicky Cloakfield.
Wow. Brutal, man.
Well, it is only 13 points of damage, so he's not. He's not dead this turn.
No. I think it may have spelled his doom though, but we'll see, man. We'll see what's drawn up there. Well, not yet. And it is scary to tap, man. So he is still alive, and Arcanite Reaper. Oh, that's it.
Well,
there it goes.
He's not alive anymore.
Nope.
Abusive Sergeant is going to be enough. And
Zach lethal.
Gosh, I gotta believe Jeeves was a slight liability to this game.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't want to say.
It drew way more cards for him than it did. I mean, if you're talking about having Jeeves instead of another card, I can agree with you. But you think it helped his opponent more than it helped him in this game? Since that, with another turn or two, perhaps things could have turned around, but it was not meant to be. And it looks like we are getting this game underway here.
Single card opener, Leper Gnome. That's going to have to get it done.
He's going to be going up against the Druid, so just waiting for the invite from Darkwonyx, and I'm going to be able to get that set up for you guys shortly, and then I'm sure he'll get his mulligans underway.
Yep. Wow, that's a pretty decent opener.
No kidding. I think he just dumped. Wow, he's going to hold on to the swipe. I guess.
Swipe is
I
one of
don't
those
know.
cards in this matchup where you kind of need it to recover.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't want to have it in your opening hand early, but you do eventually need it. So I'm a pretty big fan of hanging on to it. I used to mulligan it in this matchup a lot, and after doing so, I regret it a lot. He gets a second innervate, which is just right now is not good. He needs to draw something like.
See, my thing with holding on to the swipe is like I started like I used to play a fair bit of Druid, and I always started feeling like I would always hold on to it, and I started to feel that holding on to it is great, but spells don't do it, man. You need early minions, and it's like if that's a keeper or something like that in your hand, I don't know. I just feel like it's way better, but it's hard to know.
Second innervate's really biting him right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna be forced to hero power for a little bit. He's got some time to find something though. There's not a ton of pressure coming from Backspace's board. Unless he draws something, he's actually basically missing his 3. So, Abusive Sergeant gets picked up, but I imagine he's gonna hold on to this for this Nerubian egg. I would anticipate larger minions from Druid. No, he's just gonna go for pressure.
Well, he has, especially because he has the Dark Iron Dwarf, right? Like he has the Dark Iron Dwarf there to activate it. I think if he didn't, it would be a different turn. Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. That is a pretty good one.
Do you think he kills the Imp, or do you think he silences? I think he killed the Imp.
I think he kills the Imp, and I think he's going to innervate on the 2-1.
Yeah.
Gosh, if he'd held onto the Abusive Sergeant, he'd be able to kill this Keeper of the Grove.
Yeah. It's hard to anticipate all that stuff. Well, he wouldn't actually be able to do both anyway. He would only have enough mana for. Are you talking about like Dark Iron Dwarf plus? Yeah, he would still be a mana short, so he wouldn't actually be able to do it. So not that big of a deal. All right, so still pretty darn nice, and we'll be able to proc his egg either way, and he's gonna be able to have 2 4/4s on the board, like pretty darn good.
Yeah, not much of a better turn you're gonna get from this.
No, certainly not. And I mean, still, Druid's hand looking pretty darn dead. I mean, it's definitely would love to pick up a. He would like to pick up an Ancient Allure if he could. Oh wow, that's really nice too, man. I was thinking
the old turn 5 Dr. Boom.
I mean, I was thinking he's got to get some sort of a 7 draw here. Really would be nice, but he's going to be able to pull that out, and that is frightening to deal with.
Yeah, there's suddenly a lot of pressure on Backspace to really get something done here. So being able to silence one of these boombots.
And I think you have to clear that, don't you think? Or
yeah.
Yeah, certainly Soulfire it.
Yeah, you're not gonna. I don't know. Maybe he does go for face and just tries to race him, but
he could do 12 damage to face right now if you want.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's gonna go for it. So he's just accepted the fact that he doesn't have a way to recover if he kills his Dr. Boom. Oh, wait a minute. Gosh, this is a tough decision to make. This is really tough. I mean, putting your opponent at 6 is just like so close to the magic number.
Certainly is, but I mean, we have to remember this swipe in hand. There's a lot of ways to recover this board. So if he doesn't kill it, it could be really bad for him. But it's hard to tell because you put him down, that low. If you draw into Doom Guards and stuff like that, the game can simply just end. But at the same time, if you forfeit total board control and your opponent's drawing into taunts and things like that, it can be really bad. It's such a hard decision.
He's got to make a decision. He's going to go all in. Backspace is going for face damage. The race has been initiated. Is Darkwonyx going to be able to recover from this?
Let's see what the draw is.
That's a pretty good one right now.
Do you think so? Do you think you tone up instead of swiping?
Gosh, I don't think you tone up instead of swiping this turn, but man, is that a good draw though? Like if he fades, if he fades all the damage he needs to this turn, that's basically going to do it. He's just going to recover after that. Yeah,
certainly. It's what's funny is silencing that bomb actually kind of screwed him because now he doesn't have to risk killing the egg with his bomb. He can just throw the silence bomb and the 2/2 into the 4/3, and then because if he had to throw the actual the 1/1 bomb in, I mean it's hard to know this and stuff, but if he actually threw the 1/1 bomb into the 4/3 and it proc the egg, that would actually be really bad. But right now he doesn't have to. So I mean he just trades his 2/2 and his 1/1 in. And the rest goes face, and yeah, this is great. I mean, it's actually really nice for him. It makes it an easy turn.
Gosh,
he sees that, right?
I think he's debating whether or not he wants to keep his boom healthy or whether or not he wants to sacrifice these little minions. I think I would actually favor.
Wow.
I think I favor saving the minions because Savage Roar is going to put him up for lethal next turn. Like if you draw Savage Roar,
you're also passing up a lot of damage. It would have been. I mean. Would have been over anyway. he would have dealt an additional 4 damage, right? So he'd be at 13. And Savage Roar plus the bomb, that would be 13.
He does just have Force Nature too, yeah.
So it would have been lethal regardless. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
10. Looks like he's 1 damage off his turn. 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 6. Yeah, he's 1 damage off a lethal, but he can prevent a life tap from happening, but he's got to deal with his board position too.
I feel like you just taunt up. Take out, you taunt up, you take out the wolf with your 2/2, you go face with the rest, and you taunt up hero power. I think that's the best play here. You can put him down, to 8 HP with a 4/6 taunt. You're 7/3 and you're 1/1 still on board.
Plus the Force Nature in hand.
Yep.
I think you're right. I think it's pretty much the best way he's going to be able to do this.
Oh wow, okay, he's going for the bomb. We'll see what. Oh my god! All right, well that's better. if it rolls like that, and now he may actually just do it. Yeah.
That actually might have been better anyway too, because if the roll is 13, if he gets the roll on the face for a high amount, it can end the game this turn as well.
True.
Yeah. So I don't think Backspace is not able to recover from this. It was just too much pressure after the turn 5 Dr. Boom. And that's going to tie this. I'm sorry. Darkwonyx is going to take a 2-to-1. Is it 2-to-2 now?
2-to-2, I do believe.
Yeah, it's 2-to-2 right now. So, really, really, really important. Dr. Boom on turn 5. I mean, that was pretty much.
It was massive.
That was the massive swing of the game. It was just so much pressure out of the board, and that's really one of the tricky things about Dr. Boom is how it affects the way that you think about the board positions. Like all the different outcomes with the boom bots are really going to change the way that the game pans out. So you have to, kind of carefully tread through things and figure out what your best line of play is. And I think in that spot, had he chosen to kill Dr. Boom, he had no potential to actually end the game. He just would have sacrificed too much to it. So I think he made the right play. Despite it was pretty slim chances because he needed Doomguard and extra damage to actually end the game after that. But I got to believe that was the play he was supposed to make.
Yeah, certainly, and. Yeah, I mean it's tough to know in these situations, and I mean it looked like our Druid was kind of having a pretty dead hand, but I mean drawing into the Dr. Boom made the innervate worthwhile. It made that early wild growth do something, and those are the kind of things that really decide whether or not you're going to be able to do well with an early hand like that. The early wild growth, early double innervate, those are great if you draw into a Dr. Boom, an Ancient Allure, that kind of stuff, but like. If that's if he picks up another Wrath or something like that instead of the Dr. Boom, you just end up with such a dead hand that it can be tough. So sometimes the innervate works out so well for you against Zoo. In a case like this, other times it can be pretty rough.
Certainly is. I mean that draw potential is the draw potential is really what you're fishing for with that card. You have a really high draw density, so the chance that you draw something worthwhile innervating versus not is pretty good chance. That's a bet I'm willing to take. And I'm certainly not playing Druid without Innervate anytime soon.
Yeah, of course.
I will fight.
And speak of the devil.
Druid versus Paladin.
Seems to be the matchup that I've been waiting for this entire tournament. Because these are the two decks that feel like they've been performing the best to me are Druid and Paladin. Curious how this actually lines up. I would imagine that Paladin's got a slight advantage. But when you see Innervate on turn 2 into a piloted Shredder, that could really change your opinion on the matter. So you know what? Let's see how this is going to end up panning out. It looks like he's just going to have to go with token here, and start eating some damage from this pilot Shredder. But again, this isn't like the typical Zombie Chow knife juggler try to get control of the board really early style of Paladin that we've been seeing from Darkwonyx. Darkwonyx has been playing like a really that we've seen. This isn't the one that we've seen from Darkwonyx, where Darkwonyx is playing like a really heavy control style. This is one that's like meant to seize the board early. So when he draws like all of this mid-sized stuff, and he doesn't have his zombie chows, he doesn't have his knife jugglers, doesn't have shielded minibot, it's like this is the turns of the game where he can potentially fall behind.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you really do need to be able to keep the board clear against a Druid. And I think it's just gonna be what? Did he just coin muster? Okay, whoa, that looked messed up on my screen. Did that not look like that for you too? It looked like he just coin muster for battle, and I was like,
he thumped over it for a second. It looked like, but if you coin muster for battle here, I think you're just.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know. Like that's why. But I just thought he grabbed the wrong card. Like that's what it looked like on the animation to me. I was like, oh god, what just happened? Anyway, thank God didn't happen.
What's the least summoned minion you've seen from Piloted Shredder, by the way? I don't think I've ever seen a Kobold Geomancer.
I think I've seen that. The thing I've seen only one time, and I don't even know the name of the stupid card. It's the 2/2 taunt. It's like the 2/2 orc taunt or whatever.
Frostwolf Grunt.
Yeah. Oh God, Millhouse Mana Storm.
Oh my gosh, Piloted Shredder gets replaced by an even stronger minion. You thought the card was unplayable. It is really playable here. Backspace is down to 9 HP. He's facing a 4/4. He has no pressure on the board. How on earth does he deal with this? Because Darkwonyx has got access to pretty much every single thing in his deck. That's actually going to be game. He's going to be able to force a nature next turn and deal 10 points of damage. And just like that, it's going to end.
Are you kidding me, man? A turn 2 coin shredder into the Millhouse Mana Storm from it could not be any worse than that. And oh wow, how frustrating of a way to lose. The best possible roll from the Piloted Shredder comes out on turn 2. A turn 2 Piloted Shredder comes out with not only a 4/3 minion, another 4/4 minion. The game's over on turn 6.
Wow, you talk about power. I mean, we just